Some women who have abortions do go on to regret it in later life. Vicky discovered she was pregnant nearly 20 years ago. She was a young woman then and a recovering heroin addict.
I reached out to certain people for help, and I think I was kind of expecting them to, sit and talk things through with me. That isn't the response that I got. And looking back on the situation, I feel like I was never really given the space to really think through what I really wanted. And I felt like everybody around me had very strong opinions, or actually they had no opinion at all. So interestingly enough, my partner at the time, I don't remember him saying anything about it, about what he might like, about how he might be able to support me and the baby or anything like that. And, I've spoken to other women, and one of the women that I spoke to recently said, she walked out of the house about to have an abortion and all she wanted was her partner to turn around and say, "Don't go, we'll make it work." And back at the time, I went to the GP, whatever was signed very quickly. I wasn't offered any kind of counselling.
No counselling at all?
Nothing at all. Not one session, and it wasn't even mentioned as an option. And because I thought it was because of what people perceived to be my situation at the time, but actually having talked to many other women now across the course of my life, that is more common than you would think.
So then you decided that you would go ahead with the abortion?
I must have agreed to it somewhere along the line. I don't ever remember feeling like, yes, this is definitely the decision I want to make. And interestingly, I was when I was driven here, I went past the clinic where I actually had the abortion, and I just remembered really vividly just beginning to lie down on the operating table, and I remember thinking, I actually don't think I want to do this. So I think we talk about choice, we talk about empowerment, but that is definitely not my experience of my abortion.
You went on to get married and then have 2 children. Did that bring back the experience for you?
Oh, yeah, very much so. I think, when you're faced with the excitement and the joy of, having children in a place where you're not confused, where you're not distressed, of course you start thinking, well, gosh, what actually did I choose to do? And, for me, interestingly, I think some of the language that we use around abortion is actually very deceptive. My early scans at 12 weeks, they talk about the baby, you can see the baby. But, when they talk about it in the context of abortion, we hear words like products of conception. And I actually think that is really disempowering for women, because you're not actually showing them the truth of the situation, of the choice that they're making.
If you could turn the clock back, what would you have done?
There's another memory that's really strong in my mind, and there's a charity in our town called Life. And the decision had kind of already been made by lots of other people. We'd already been to the GP, things were kind of in place. And I remember walking past this place on the other side of the road, and it had a big sign, Life. And I wish that I had walked in there, because I know that if I had walked in there, I would have been given space and time to really think through what I wanted, what my decision was. I think had I had the opportunity, I would have liked to have known the full truth and the full facts of what I was actually doing to my unborn child.